Kamisato Ayato has finally arrived in Genshin Impact character roster along with his sweet boba milk tea. In the previous Ayaka video, I did promise that we'll be making a guide on Boba Lover once he is out, and here we are today with today's guide video, so let's step right into it. Kamisato Ayato has a rather straightforward kit in his newer generation of characters. His elemental skill summons a water illusion of himself as he shifts away from his position. The water illusion will explode and deal AoE hydro damage when enemies are nearby or once its duration ends. Ayato will change his stance during this period to deal fast attacks which deals AoE hydro damage instead of normal attack. Dealing damage during this period will allow Ayato to gain the Namisen effect, which can be obtained every 0.1 second with a maximum of 4 stacks. The Namisen effect increases damage dealt by Ayato in this period of fast attacks based on his current max HP. His elemental skill effects last for 6 seconds once his illusion disappears, so even though his skill lasts for 12 seconds, it feels like it lasts for 6 seconds instead. His burst is similar like Ganyu's, where he summons an area that causes droplets of water to drop and damage opponents. Grouping enemies is really useful in this scenario to hit more enemies at a time. Characters within the area can gain an increase in normal attack damage, which is useful for characters who deals damage with their normal attacks. His first passive gives him 2 Namisen stacks after his elemental skill is used. Once the water illusion explodes, Ayato will gain a Namisen effect equal to the maximum number of stacks possible. His second passive lets him regenerate 2 energy every second when he is not on the field and has energy lower than 40. Let's talk about his weapons. As usual, event weapon is always meant for the event character. The Haran Geppaku Futsu is his best weapon and a 5-star which provides 12% elemental damage bonus. When other characters use their elemental skill, the wielder of this sword will get wave spike stack up to a maximum of 2 stacks. When the character equipping this weapon uses their elemental skill, each wave spike stack will be consumed to provide 20% increase in normal attack damage for 8 seconds. Other recommended 5-star includes the Jade Cutter and the Mist Splitter Reforge. Cheaper 4-star options include the Black Sword for the increased normal attack damage and crit rate, Blackcliff Longsword for the stats, and Amanoma Kageuchi for the energy recharge accessibility. As for artifacts, I'ma be honest, I am still having a hard time in deciding which artifact sets is good for Ayato, but it's okay, the choices I'm about to recommend are still good for Ayato either way. The first choice is the new artifact set that just got released with this update, which is the Echoes of an Offering set. Its 2-piece provides 18% increase in attack and 4-piece increases normal attack damage by 70% of attack when normal attack damage opponents. The effect will dispel after dealing damage with normal attack. If this effect failed to occur, the chances for it to occur next time is increased by 20%. The next set is the Heart of Death set. Now this set rivals Echoes because the 4-piece is enough for Ayato to deal some decent damage when he gains 30% increase in normal and charge attack damage after using his elemental skill. Godly stats are not so important if Ayato uses this set. Echoes is the best if you are lucky to get good stats to optimize this artifact. You guys can experiment with these 2 artifact sets as you go along. For easy accessibility purpose, 4-piece Gladiator is also generally good to boost his attacks. As for his artifact stats, you would want to go for attack percentage stance, hydro damage bonus goblet, and breed circlet. Remember to balance out your crit rate and crit damage by 50 to 100 ratio. If you decide to run Ayato as support, you can replace attack percentage stance with energy recharge. For the substats, you want to prioritize his energy recharge up to 150% first, as his burst requires a lot of energy to use. Then you can focus on his crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage, and some elemental mastery as well if you want. For talents, you want to focus more onto his elemental skill followed by his burst and then his normal attack. Now you guys might realize that everything I explained so far has something to do with his elemental skill. If you guys are wondering, Ayato's fast attack when he uses his skill deals damage as normal attack and not elemental skill, so that is why normal attack damage bonus are key. So maybe try to balance out your talent upgrades if you can. Now for his team comp, you can run Ayato with free-to-play options like Fischl, Beidou, and Sucrose, or if this sounds familiar, the Taser team comp. You can also replace Sucrose with Venti if you have him to gather enemies and deal heck of a damage as Ayato's slashes reach Venti's burst. For a more expensive build, I would highly suggest an expensive Perma Freeze team comp consisting of Ayato, Ayaka, Venti, and Diona. The synergy is really good between the siblings as you can continue to freeze enemies with Ayaka's and Ayato's bursts. You can use Venti to gather enemies as usual, while Diona provides healing and shield. You could replace Venti with Kazuha and Ayaka with Ganyu as well. Now, I won't emphasize much in constellations as usual because not everyone can have access to them. If you want to get constellations, it's entirely up to you. Now, if you ask me, Ayato can deal decent damage with his skill and also provide good support with his burst. He is technically a hybrid of some sort. So that is all for me in today's video. Hope you guys find it helpful. Be sure to leave a like, share and subscribe. Good luck to all Ayato pullers and I'll see you all in the next video.